Welcome back, everyone. How are you today? I'm great, thanks for asking. This is how my Thief Savari is turning out. Primitive Light. AKA my scribe, AKA also the chef of my characters. Now, it's still a lot of work in progress and a lot of leveling up. But for the most part, I would say it's half decent. A bit of sneaky teleportation access to this, like... It's rather helpful, actually. Although, obviously, I am not exactly sufficient with it. Let's see, I can also set down a trap right there. And I can make it so I can run essentially faster. The scribing has been going along well. So I figured out a bit more about scribing. Like, apparently... Oh, besides this, what is this? Anyway, apparently, where is it? I can make guild consumable schematics for World versus World with Scribe. And this is actually one of the bigger things for like a guild and having a scribe. So ultimately, having a guild for World versus World is very important for World versus World ultimately. Like, guilds can claim like the camps, keeps, or like a castle, and when they control it, they can deposit stuff like this into it for use. Now let's talk about what these could actually do. So Guild Banquet would be like a buff thing, maybe party thing. Like, it'll give you an actual banquet of food, and it will give you like a banner for buffs, and it will give you a few fun things, like a keg, and a little firework launcher. Now besides that, other schematics include minor supply drop. So obviously there would probably be like higher tiers of them requiring different forms of reinforcing plates. But yeah, that's basically a great example of how this is actually helpful to World versus World. So this, in case a base is out of supply for building like a siege or repairing walls or something, like, you can have something like this go off and give like 10 or like 100 supply into the whatever it's going to, and you can use that as like a backup thing, like a backup plan of action. Like, that's actually big. Let's see, right here. It's going slow for a second. Sabotage depot. Assuming we have something with a ton of supply in it, like let's say a filled castle or something, we don't want our enemies to just have access to that, to our supply in there. We want them to be starving so we can starve them back out and take that place back. So this would basically explode the supply there if the enemy actually captures it. So that's really cool. And there's all kinds of stuff like this around and about for World versus World that guilds can provide and make. And from what I can tell, only guilds actually make them. Specifically with Scribe. Like, people will probably be like, now what's the purpose of actually having a guild hall? Well, that's a great start right there, actually. Like, basically, scribes can craft all the things that permit stuff like that. And to actually be able to craft stuff like that, you need a scribe and a guild hall to craft all that stuff into. Guild arrow carts. Now, I think the thing about the guild siege blueprints is that you could essentially sell them on the trading post. So in which case, you don't actually need a scribe on your guild to get it. You can actually just buy it from the trading post. But obviously someone needs to make it. As for these banners, a scribe can craft them essentially like, yeah, just straight up craft them, and then they can be processed through the guild and all that, and basically be ready at the availability. There's emergency waypoint for if we really want to protect something and have everyone on our like team from our server. Mine being Tarnished Coast. Like, we could have everyone just like we could have that deployed and everyone be able to protect. So yeah, it is very helpful. And we've had an interesting one also recently. This one. So this is actually very helpful. Specifically, when an enemy Zerg is coming around and really trying to tear you apart. Like, it will make all of your walls and stuff temporarily invulnerable for just a little bit. But just that little bit can be enough to make it a game changer. Let me tell you, I've actually seen it in use and it worked wonders. Now, to be able to actually get to the rest of this, though, for us personally, we would have to, like, get this, I believe. Stone Mist Castle for guild claiming. But other than that, we have been doing quite well as a guild in World vs. World. Specifically, those of us with, like, the Tiki Guild and that. Like, it's basically a Havoc guild where we just run around, wreak havoc, and keep all of our defenses fortified and such. And so on and so forth. Basically, we as, like, even though we're like a small guild or something, we can basically make major impacts. Like, a group of 8 of us held off Langor against an entire Zerg of like 50 or something people. Now, moving on, something else different around the guild is we have gained the ability to place obstacles, or objects in general. I think it's mainly just considered obstacles, inside of the arena. And I got bored and kind of made this out of it. Now, some of you might be thinking, you've been building this, but you haven't been uploading any Minecraft building videos or something, and I'm just thinking, Well, the thing is, those of you wondering why that hasn't been really coming up or anything, like anything Minecraft related, is because I actually have like a sort of like a secret project going on, and when it comes to me and secret projects, I hold it quite seriously. To the word secret. I don't know if I could actually call it a secret project, more like it's a project I'm doing and I'm not really going to talk about it much. Now, some of you probably already actually know about it. Like, some of you are like from the same group and like already seen like screenshots and stuff from it. Like, you people know who you are. But yeah. Going quite well. And I must say, it's actually kind of limiting on how you can place things in here. Like, not in really a bad way. Like, I find it perfectly acceptable. Like, I can understand to some degree how they probably want to situate it to make it a little more bearable, perhaps. But still. Like, let me show you a bit of... Can I actually deactivate this right now? I think there's been something that has been preventing that lately. Yeah, we also have the ring out boundary in there. And I was like thinking, maybe we should have like, the next time my friend feels like trying to start up some kind of arena contest thing, I could run around in the arena and just like keep changing it while people try to hunt each other down. Well, let me actually give you a bit of an idea of what it's like in there. So in this mode, I can personally enhance the arena or just change things around it. Now everything in here isn't set in stone for how it is placed, so there is the chance that I am actually going to change things around. What spot was it that I came from? Okay, so I came from that. I have a vague memory of where I came from. But yeah, from each of these little spawn points, I have it basically mazing into this and around it and everything. So people can't just go directly to where someone else starts from and pick their favorite enemy or something. Instead, they will have to actually try to hope they come across them more. Like, it's going to be a lot more zig and zag and stuff, and a lot less likely for them to actually run into that specific person. Is what I've been hoping for, basically. But yeah, these 3 through 5 skills, these are basically you just like remover skills. 5 being of course the biggest. 1 would be for placing a selected decoration. I have currently none selected. I can change that fact with 6. Like at the moment, we only have like 6 we can actually choose from in this arena specifically. Or, yeah, just like 2 we can choose from. Now obviously I've been placing this down, and we originally started with 250 like this did. Now exactly if we can actually use that many, I have no idea. But yeah, one of the big things I've been trying for is to prevent up top overlay of walls like this. Now for the most part I've done a half-decent job of preventing that. I think I may fix that bit. And let's actually place 1 down. I think like that should be fine. No one can exactly just squeeze through that. Although, the way it looks bothers me. Okay, so I can't have that as close, I don't think. To my surprise, that doesn't seem to overlap on the top. Or at least not much. So that may be acceptable. So yeah, I have it kind of mazing, and I've been trying to make it a little more visually presenting and acceptable. Okay, this is not the exit, I don't think. This is not the exit you need. Speaking of, where the hell am I? I think I'm actually on the exact opposite side of the arena. In which case, I want to go this way. Let's do that. Let's see. That was not the correct way. It should be this way now. And it's just barely notable right here. Which is kind of how I wanted it to feel. Mostly to screw with people. Like, those of you know me for, like, trying to, like, make my own, like, Minecraft jumping puzzles and that. I like to screw with people in ways. Now, it might not necessarily be, like, too big of a thing or anything, but it is considerably notable, to some degree. I'd say it goes quite well. But yeah, for the most part, lately on this game, I've been doing a lot of world versus world, and I would get a lot of tomes of knowledge I could use to level this character up, basically. Like, I have not really been doing any adventuring at all on this character. There's probably just 2 towns I've ever explored with this character, and that's basically it. And then I probably explored a bit of, like, one area, besides, like, this guild hall. I at least took a glimpse into here, but that's literally everything that I've seen, which is literally not much at all. And I have taken a look at this, but yeah, just literally not much at all has been explored on this character. Oh, that's not an uncovered map. But yeah, I definitely at least took a glimpse into Krita, apparently. It looks like I tried for a bit of map completion in it. Back. Not even then. Let's see. Let's see, Hallbrack is here. Black Citadel is there. Yeah, I really didn't explore anywhere on this. Like, Radissum is right there. Union Necessium. Anyway. Moving on. Since last time with achievements, you guys seen me, I was probably like 3,000, 3,500 perhaps. Well, now I'm at 4,100. Now this is actually kind of a quick jump in, like, experience points, really. Like, I forget what it was that I've actually been doing that's been giving me so much experience points. And, achievements, actually. But yeah, that's how fast I basically jumped through. And from what I actually have looked into this. When it comes to the, skin rewards. So apparently, I'll actually get those every now and then. And like once I actually get like all of those, there will be like another set I can go for, but that will take a while. So that's a bit of a mess and a half. Side note, if I reach 5,000, I will get 400 gems. Oh, that's delightful. I actually didn't realize that part until now. So yeah, I think I'm actually a little excited about that part. 10 laurels is alright. But that 400 gems, if I essentially get that every 5,000, I think I'm gonna try a little harder for the achievement points. So yeah, that's a little exciting. On second thought, actually I think I do know where I've been getting these from. I think I've just been getting these from doing dailies. Like literally all of these. Actually, no. Maybe World versus World just gives a lot. I'm actually not sure. Could be. Yeah, since I last seen you guys, I've now reached a total of 4 characters at level 80. Here's my main now. He's wearing the full heavy laystone armor, which is cool. Now he looks a lot more rock for a wall. Now these 3 have obviously been in the level 80. my Mesmer, and my now full-fledged Herald. Now this is not the straight-up outfit I would normally use. Like, let me actually clarify it. Well, let me talk about this one first. So, this is my Armorsmith. He's also now level 80. Just fairly recently. Which is actually why I've been putting Tomes of Knowledge into my Scribe now. So that's that. Now this is actually the Tiki Guild uniform. That's right, we got a uniform. In that sense, it could be it's almost like an RP guild, but it's actually just a straight up Havoc guild, and guild owner wanted us to feel like Power Rangers. Just like we would all have our designated color and such. My color, pink, is of the Tiki god Korra, I think was the name. And that is the Tiki god of dance. So yeah, we each have our own colors, our Tiki god name essentially. Though we don't really refer to each other by our Tiki god name. And each one of us basically represents something. Water, sunlight or something. All cool, all cool. Wait for this to load in, and I'll show you the actual full-fledged outfit. Now it is actually pretty cool. If it would just load in and accept its fate. So this is what the actual outfit, or the actual clothes on my Herald is. Now you probably got used to me calling it Revenant. Well, it's Herald now as of late. Not that they changed Revenants out, or like the name out. So this is actually just a class upgrade thing. My elite class is Herald, basically. And as a Herald, I become able to possess shields. Now this is my shield. The Herald shield. And it is amazing. I can do stuff like this. You probably noticed the spot on the ground. So right now I have two of those runes in the little circle below me active. The one on the left has to do with offense. The one on the right has to do with mobility for the most part. Now let's talk more about that. So I have a total of 6 of these. Facet of Nature, Facet of Light, Facet of Darkness, Facet of Strength, Facet of Elements, and Facet of Chaos. These are the Herald, like, buff things. Now, they're not only buffs. In fact, as much as they look like there's some sort of sigil things on my bar of, like, buffs and that, they kind of are, but kind of aren't at the same time. So, if I activate one of these, he's like these two are actually active currently, but after I press them again, they will use a skill that will help me in combat, and puts those to either of those that I use fully in like their chains like into cooldown. So yeah, really cool.
The fury is mine.
7, 6, F2. Now, I find the most I can have of these going on at once is 5. But even then, it really drains.
The pains of this world are fleeting.
So yeah, there is some amount of limit to how I can use these. Other than that, they are quite useful. So let's talk about these shield skills. So this one is basically a buff thing that is good for allies. This one is basically an all-round protection. Puts me in like a little bubble. I'm a bubble now.
Defense, then offense.
And there's another thing about this one. Like, when I shoot it outward, it'll basically buff whatever it touches, whoever it touches, as long as they're of ally sort. And then it'll come back to me and buff me as well, with a bit of protection. Now straight up, the shield basically grants more protection to the player using it. For heralds. It just all around adds another layer of protection. And I can't really demonstrate the 3 skill because I have no enemy targets. But I don't need any of those for the hammer skills. Now I've actually had this glowy hammer for a while. It was one hell of a lucky 300 gold drop. And Revenants can use the hammers quite awesome, like this defends against incoming projectiles, assuming I'm facing at them coming my way. Like, I can do this as like a knockdown, as well as knockdown damage. This will actually send my character over there, but in like an evasive sort of form, where I will literally take no damage when I land over there or on the way there and back. This is just straight powerful offense. And this is just a standardly ranged offense. So yeah, pretty cool. I've been figuring out more and more about my CC on this character to have myself a little more self-sustaining for like enemies that require CC. So the way CC works, CC stands for crowd control, by the way. So knockdown would be a good CC example. Like, when it's supposed to knock a player down, if it's supposed to knock a player backwards, if it's supposed to interrupt them, or even pull them, it's essentially a form of CC. It's essentially crowd control. It can abduct a player or obstruct whatever they were doing. Lifts off a player or something, or opponent, that's CC. Now, players don't normally have a CC bar. Like certain, PvE enemies will. Just straight up environmental enemies, like say, maybe certain bandits or Mordrum or something. Like a Mordrum Punisher or something. Mordrum Desolator. Like, they'll have an occasional CC bar that goes up that you can bring down and it will like stun them once it's broke. And they'll be basically helpless for you to beat the living hell out of them. So that's what that's about.
We've talked enough. I'm pushing this.
So, yeah. That should explain a decent amount about that. Once, like, a player actually gets the hold of their CC skills and their proper use and most effective use, they essentially have a real idea of how they should be fighting in this game, I would say. I could be mistaken, but I think CC was like a more recent addition thing to this game or something like that. What do you sell?
I have everything you need.
Typical? I could have sworn one of you sells cupcakes or something. You sell the exact same thing as him. You bore me.
May the Six watch over you.
Roasted aloe seed.
Are all about singing, dancing, and drink. And you can get by with just drink.
And you can get by with just drink. Nice.
I'm here to entertain.
Cotton candy. Slice of rainbow cake. Ooh. Delicious and delicious. But I should hold back.
You are a welcome guest.
Fix me up. I don't think there's any other vendors down here that actually sell anything.
Logan?
Wait, what about you?
The carnival will ease your
Oh, you sell that also. You bore me. What do you sell? Do you sell fortunes?
No worries.
No.
Only entertainment.
More cotton candy. Damn you! For the most part, I find it more useful to run around with the hammer than any other weapons when it comes to Herald. Like, it's a lot easier to... It's a lot more CC worth, really. And compared to this, I wouldn't really consider using Herald's skill set for CC neither. I would actually recommend using Legendary Dwarf Stance rather than Dragon Stance. Although the Herald skills are a lot more fun.
Might makes me
Just
right.
because of these buffs. Like, it is very practical, very useful, and they look really cool in use. Unfortunately, these book carts don't have much use. Oh, I think they tell a little bit about some random book thing that doesn't normally actually show up elsewhere somehow. What do you sell? I assume it's something typical. Yup, typical. You disappoint me. I was about to say dishonor, but disappoint is more appropriate. It's one of those moments where... Okay, so I'm kind of guilty of this one. Where I will actually, mid-sentence, like, I will just second thought what I'm about to say and almost say something different. Now, I don't know if anyone else ever does this, but I personally do this, so if I ever just, like, pause in the middle of, like, a sentence, I'll just... It's probably because of that. Like, it's nothing, like, particularly serious or anything, but... It's just like me being like a little more self-conscious, self-aware of what I'm like saying. Just like double thinking it, just sort of revising it. I love how if I just like run by half these random people, it'll actually kind of buff them. So yeah, that's basically what Herald is all about. So, back on my Mesmer again, and I have something cool. A new shield. And it is fabulous. Let's actually get a better look at this. And I really need my armor repaired. I just haven't done that for some reason. Let's see, which way am I facing? I guess I want to go this direction. I just logged in, so this is basically the actual outfit I'm wearing right now. Laystone, in fact. Laystone vest, gloves, pants, and shoes. Yes. And this is the shield I'm wearing currently on my Mesmer. It is called Horologicus. I still can't pronounce the hell out of this word. Or at least when I try to pronounce it, it sounds awkward as hell, just because of the amount of syllables in it. Horologicus. 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 Horologicus? No, it should be Gicus. I'm honestly not sure what is up with that, but it is an ascended piece, and it is very cool. I'm most proud of it. For the most part, to my understanding, it is primarily support. Although Mesmer in the first place was primarily support, as a class in general. Like, what I mean by support, it is very supporty. Like, it provides some in buffs, and it's helpful to itself a decent amount. And it is very helpful to others, actually, around it. In this sense, one may say, it is a rather support class. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. In fact, I can still do a decent amount of damage. I have all these shatter skills. And to my being a chronomancer, I now have all these well skills. Now this one particularly is fun. Like, enemies calling it will be pulled in and just like lifted off the ground feeling all kinds of hurt. It is particularly cool. I really thoroughly enjoy it. I just wish this shield, while it does look really cool, it's like some time thing going on. It's got the moon with a face, it's got some clocks and an hourglass. Like, that's really cool and all, but I almost wish it was just slightly shinier. Other than that, it has like a definite sort of time kind of feeling to it, which is very cool, and it's hard to argue with it in that sense. Although, the amount of points from here to here kind of bothers me. Like, that's basically... 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... So it's basically 16. So a standard clock is usually in 12. Which is why that kind of bothers me. Now, the design is fine. It's just minor complaints of aesthetic choice, but otherwise it's quite fine in its own way. So yeah, this is what I ended up setting up on my main character in the middle of this video, basically, or the middle of the recording of it. I got like this rock hammer now. I changed the back piece out with a different one. Now I'm pretty sure that's not the final product I'm gonna stand with for the back piece. In fact, I've actually been eyeing up the final piece for it. I just need to recall which thing it was. Where was it? These aren't it. So it's probably in basic somewhere. That's definitely not it, although this is of interest. As I recall, I mostly don't have the light and medium armor for that. I have no idea what this is. Where is it? Where is it? Here it is. This is probably going to become the full thing. So it's basically a bigger version of it. The War Master's backpack. I believe it's War Master's pack. And I have a lot of things I need to get from that. Potoni the Massive. Ouch. Gonna need help for that champion. Let's see. Defeat Mordremoth and Dragon Sand. Now, I don't know if this means the mouth of Mordremoth from standard Dragon Sand, or if I need to actually go into the story thing and fight Mordremoth again. Now, this doesn't look too problematic. That's also not problematic. Now, this I do regularly. Let's see. Packed rations. Individual. Complete Heart of Thorns, Act 1 Mastery Achievement. Okay, so I need to actually do the backtrack on the quests then of like the story. This one I'm not sure. I think I just need to collect visual armor. But yeah, as you can see, I am very rock of the wall. I'm even wielding a goddamn rock now. Could I be any more rock than wearing rock and bashing it with a rock? By the way, that force skill is really cool. So what it does is anyone I strike, it basically knocks back. Now, for heavier standard enemies with a Defiance bar, that's a different story. I cannot possibly knock them back. Instead, it goes toward trying to break the Defiance bar. A CC, if you will, crowd control. So yeah, that basically sums it up. By the way, I'm actually almost done completely leveling that thief of mine. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have that done before next time I upload a video on this game. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Any questions? Feel free to do so down below in the description. Apparently they also have sale for Heart of Thorns, I hear. Like something about half off. So if anyone's ever actually wanted to play this game, now would be like the ideal time for it. I don't know where it's available. It's probably through the site, if I were to guess. Yeah, it must be through the site, I'm sure. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Unfortunate Solstice 25, Winter Solstice 8, and a rock of a wall. And have a good day. Bye-bye.